Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here once again to do a final, well, not really a final, one more Army review video. And please stay tuned for announcements later in the video because I got some exciting news for the channel. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the unboxing. Alright guys, so I have here my two packages that I received yesterday, and we're going to go ahead and open them. So here we have an Armies in Plastic Napoleonic Wars Prussian Light Infantry set right here, and as you can tell by the box, there's pieces of cardboard missing, and it's probably easy to open up because it's already been used. So there's this, and then we have this other package. So let's go ahead and see what's inside the other one. And we have some Napoleonic Young Guard foot artillery French infantry, but with grenadiers. And these are the grenadier French units. So let's go ahead and just straight into the setup of the two sets, and then we'll go ahead and move on straight to announcements after a brief summary. Okay, so here we have the French Grenadiers. As you can see, they're basically the same kind of molds and mods that I had previous with my other Armament review videos of this army. But let's get into detail of each pose. So, I would have been doing this if I had more space on my phone, but since there's only two sets that we're doing, we might as well just do these two armies. So here we have a French soldier with his rifle in his hand, and it looks like he appears to be in a fighting stance, probably either defending or getting ready to shoot at his enemy, based on the pose it looks like here. We have another soldier here that appears to be pulling the flintlock hammer back, since he's using a flintlock musket. During the early 1800s, flintlock muskets were still being used, but later on they would develop to use bolt action and percussion cap rifles over the years, with the Enfield muskets and everything else. But the point is, this is the Napoleonic era, so they're basically going to be using flintlock muskets. So he's basically reloading. He's getting his rifle ready to shoot by pulling the hammer back. Here we have a soldier on the kneeling pose. He's probably getting ready to shoot or defending himself from enemies. Next, we have a standing up rifleman shooting his musket during line combat. Now, I just want to say I admire the details of this set, because look, he has a short sword on him, because the Napoleonic soldiers did have swords, or basically every army had swords, but also the style of the details of the hat, the cap and ball, cap and feather, which is very cool. Next, we have another kneeling soldier shooting down with no helmet. I'm guessing his helmet was shot off, but if you actually look really close, it looks like he's wearing a bandana. So he's probably was injured, or he got bullet grazed to his head. So he has a bandage on his head instead, which looks pretty cool. Next, we have a shooting on knee with helmet soldier. And as I said before, the details on this look very cool. We have another soldier here, but his hat is interesting. I mean, it's not like a cap like these guys have, but it's some kind of hat. I don't really know what it's called, but regardless, it's pretty cool. Now, the unit is the Young Guard, which is one of Napoleon's most known known regiments in his army. But another known army regiment would be the Old Guard, and the Old Guard, from what I've read and seen in movies, they are really good. And especially if you've seen Waterloo from 1970 or 1980, somewhere around there, or the recent movie that was released 2 years ago, Napoleon, with Joaquin Phoenix. They portray Napoleon pretty good, but also his army. In Waterloo, his army was portrayed very well. Here we have a drummer, a battlefield musician, who drums commands on the battlefield line of battle, since they didn't have radios and stuff. So here's an interesting fact: during the 17th and early 16th and 1700s or 1800s, they only used drums, flutes, and bugles to communicate commands on the battlefield, which, because when they would fire muskets and volleys, you could barely hear anyone saying anything. So because the officers had to shout really loud in order for soldiers to hear, and they can lose their voice during that. Not to mention, artillery fire is deafening, so that's why they have musicians. Now, another post we have is the French soldier reloading his musket. As you can see here, you may not tell because of the plastic mold, and if my camera can get the focus, there we go. He's reloading his musket with a ramrod in the barrel, while his gun and the ram of his gun is on the ground where his foot is. Now let's move on to the Prussian army. I completely forgot about the numbers on the French army. There's a total of 16 soldiers, but here we have the Prussian army, which there's a total of 20 soldiers. The positions, there's a bunch of standing, charging, and shooting. Now we're going to move on to announcements.